Hello and welcome to our weekly World of Warships stream. Today with me, Chrysanthos. I hope you know me by now. You're Senior Community Manager for Europe. And today with special guests. So first of all, we have our Lord of Droid.
Hi guys, this is Lord of Droid. You don't know me so well, but I still pop here every now and then.
They know you. They know you.
Oh, my banhammer.
Yes, and today we have a special episode because we have some cool news to share, and we thought it's a really good opportunity to talk a little bit about game balance. And the best person to actually invite for that kind of talk is our lead game designer. So welcome, Andre WelIdone Lisak, to the stream.
Hello, everyone.
So, please introduce yourself so that the guys in chat who don't know you know what you're actually doing. What is your role in World of Warships?
It's our lead game designer is the role of make game design decisions in game, and I'm in charge of almost all these decisions in our game, in battles, in gameplay, in meta gameplay, etc., etc., etc.
Okay. So a lot of design work for you.
Yeah, a lot of.
Okay, we'll talk about that later, but you want to...
Yeah, so we have a few things. I just wanted to give you guys some quick information because today a lot of stuff is going to come out already on the portal and also on the dev blog. It's going to happen soon. So first of all, we have unscheduled server restart for tomorrow morning on the EU server. So please keep that in mind if you try to play tomorrow morning, that at 5 UTC for roughly 40 minutes, the server won't be available. And then on top of that, we received a lot of your feedback regarding CVs and the last 2 iterations of the public test. And we want to actually polish that a bit. So the update that was actually supposed to come out sooner is now delayed. It's postponed, so we can do some additional testing. And since that is actually affecting your gameplay to a certain degree, because we have some activities that we rolled out with 7.12, mostly clan battles, we have snowflakes, we have the In the Name of His Highness event for the Prinz Eitel Friedrich, and the Mighty Prince campaign. All of these activities are going to be prolonged, so you have more time to actually finish it, which should be good news for you. When it comes to the actual CV rework, I just want to say this right now. So today we're not going to go into detail about this because we have a special stream next week where you can ask all of the questions, where we can show you the updated version of the CV rework, and then we can answer all of the questions that you might have around compensation, commander skills,
yes,
modules, all of these aspects. So today we're going to focus a bit more on game balance unrelated to CVs, and then next week we're going to have a dedicated CV stream. And the good thing is, so in the way the stream is going to work, in the beginning we're just going to showcase the things that are going to be changed game balance-wise in the near future. A few things, there's even more to come. And then afterwards, you can just ask questions. We have Lord of Droid, who's going to try to ask as many questions as possible to WelIdone. And yeah, so that's the plan. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, so just... I am reading some comments and I hear that Andre's voice isn't coming clear, but I'm getting mixed messages that it's okay, it's not okay. So can chat confirm if the voice is okay?
I already have to apologize. The sound quality from the microphone from Andre is not going to be the best. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the beta setup for today, but it should be all good. So let us know if you can understand him. Yes, but it should be all right. Otherwise, if we're too loud, we can change that. Yes, and
so this is a surprise stream. I want to focus on there are some interesting things that we want to talk about, and not just talk about CVs. CVs, guys, I know there is a lot of things to talk about, a lot, but we have dedicated stream next week. We will answer all your questions. We will have everything around ready for that. We delayed the whole thing because we got so much feedback. So we're listening, but this stream is let's take it outside of the CVs and we want to talk about something else, and we have something interesting. Hopefully, you still haven't seen anywhere. So should we get rolling?
Yes, we should get going. So okay. Do you want to have the honor? Okay, I will just push this and you can select.
I'm so happy when anything in our tech tree get nerfed or buffed, mostly buffed. So we are going to talk about buffs today. And I'm really happy that we are going to have buffs for 11 ships in upcoming patches. So we will go bit by bit on every ship, and let's talk about the buffs that those lucky ships are going to get. They are, by the way, by demand of a lot of data and how the people perceive that they were sometimes slightly weak. That's why we have Andre here who can answer some of your questions around those buffs. So let's get started. Let's go with the first one, the lucky ship to get started, and it's going to be Eagle. So Andre, Eagle is going to get a buff from torpedo range of 7 kilometers to 8 kilometers. Can you tell us why, how, all this?
First of all, his torpedo range will allow him right now to make a torpedo launch from when he's invisible. Because right now it's 2 fighter destroyer. He has a very big HP pool, but his torpedoes are kind of really aggressive weapon. Right now we will allow him to use it as a stealth weapon, like with other destroyers. It will not be extremely often in usage, I guess, but it's good to give him this diversity in strategy.
Awesome. So what do you think about Eagle? How do you think about that destroyer?
I think one of the main pain points for the Eagle was that you actually you cannot really top the enemy when you're in concealment. So that actually gives it the opportunity now that you have that extra playroom with the Eagle. It's still a very good gunboat if you can adjust yourself to the shell arcs and the air drag on the shells. But this gives you, I would say, a bit of a better all-rounder role, I would say, with the Eagle.
I like this buff. Well, I like all the buffs, but this buff is very welcome. We will now quickly move to the next ship on our list, which is Dunkirk. So Dunkirk's main battery load time will now be reduced by 2 seconds from 28 to 26 seconds. So that's kind of a good buff.
It's a very good buff. I mean, it's almost a 10% buff in the rate of fire, which is amazing because especially in a battleship, having 2 seconds shaved off your reload time means you might get that salvo off that you otherwise wouldn't get off.
So Andre, why are we buffing Dunkirk?
Why we buff Dunkirk is answer. Why we buff is that it's not too good. We see this in statistics. We see this in your feedback, and we understand that we should slightly buff this ship according to all this information. And the exact decision of buffing the cooldown of her guns is that her guns have not very big caliber, yes?
Yeah, caliber.
Okay, caliber, and according to this, she didn't get enough damage, it didn't make enough damage, and this buff will allow her to make this damage according to all her competitives.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's very straightforward. With the Dunkirk, I mean, the caliber for a tier 6 battleship isn't actually that high, so having the advantage of a faster reload is going to help you apply that damage a bit faster and better to enemy ships. And you can, especially when it comes to like punishing cruisers, for example, gives you, when something is trying to turn away, you might actually get that salvo off on a broadside, for example, when otherwise he would already have turned slightly bit more. So I think it's a very good buff. And in chat, guys, please don't spam copy paste messages, and otherwise I will have to do some modding. Exactly. And then the next ship, I'm very happy about the next ship that we're going to talk about. Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Let's try to give the guess. Like, what ship is it?
Okay, so
it's an American ship.
It's American ship. It's one of the first ships that was introduced in World of Warships as a premium ship. So I can give that.
Let's see if chat can guess it.
Yes.
So it's an American ship, one of the first one of its kind.
Oh, and we immediately we have the answer
Yes,
immediately
Sims.
from Grumpy Salted Potato, which is a very nice name.
So Sims is getting very nice changes. So the torpedo range is moved from 5.5 to 7 kilometers. That's amazing. Then it's alternate. There are two reload. There are two torpedoes. So the one is going from 9.2 to 10.5, and then the damage is also buffed by about 1100 points, which is 8500 to 9667. And the reload time is also reduced by 4 seconds from 72. No, it's actually increased. Well, yeah, you can't get all the good things.
Yes.
72 to 76 seconds.
Well, especially with that range on tier 7
Yes.
and the increased damage, so you actually have some more oomph behind those torpedoes. That's quite nice. And if you want to go for the drop, you don't have to actually cross that much of area if you want to get within torpedo range.
Yes.
Because with the Sims concealment, 7 kilometers is way closer to that than 5.5.
And now you can actually take the captain skill on 10.5 kilometers torpedo to make it go faster.
Yes, if you want to do that.
Yes, because now you have some more buffer. So actually, it's more viable skill on Sims now. It's very good. So you said it's one of your old classic favorites?
Well, I used to play it when it came out quite a bit. Then over time, there were so many other DDs added to it. And The Sims, I love to play it actually in ranked back when the ranked season was on tier 7 with the Bliskavica. But I think this makes her more competitive because right now she had either the super slow torpedoes with not really really high damage. So you're mostly focused on guns, and now you have a better choice in torpedoes and actually apply some additional torpedo damage.
And hits you more. It hurts more. Great. Let's continue the theme of destroyers then.
Yes, because it's not the only tier 7 DD.
I love that ship, by the way. So the next one is...
It's...
Mayhem. So it's getting a main armament battery reload buff from 4 seconds. The reload time is reduced to 3.3 seconds. That is quite a chunk of a buff.
Yes. It's a significant buff in rate of fire. Which will make up for its... I mean, the shell arcs on American DDs are not the best, but it will really help you in DD close range fights.
Knife fights, yeah, especially you can kite and use other torpedo launchers, so it makes it much more nicer to play. I really liked Mayhem when I was grinding through the American destroyer line. It's one of my favorite. I didn't do so well, but I really loved that it had 3 sets of launchers and really good guns. Now it's even better. Yeah.
But maybe Andre can explain a bit why we're going for this specific buff for the reload time.
It's kind of more... I forgot this word. Less sharp. Okay.
Yes.
More plain move to high tier destroyers, because from Mayhem, distance between other ships, between this ship and his enemies already increased, and this ship starts to get more punishment from ballistics because he shoots on more distance. And according to this reload buff, it will allow to make acceptable damage in artillery, because this is artillery branch of destroyers, and this exact ship get a less kind of decreasing damage according to his neighbors. And right now he will be really competitive in close distance according to increased DPM.
Okay. Yeah, so for the chat who can't hear so well, it's to improve the DPM, especially at short ranges. We gave this buff because it was lagging behind its peers for same tiers. So that was one of the reasons.
Exactly. And Yura's asking, is there going to be a Q&A session? Yes. So we just want to present the changes that we already prepared. And if you have any questions, you can ask them afterwards. So we'll save them for a few minutes. We still have a few ships to go and a few things to talk about. So we will get to it.
Okay. The next one.
The next one. Yeah, this is a ship. Like I remember. I just have to say this. Like I remember this ship back in the day because I started playing the CBT, and it was one of the most painful ships that I had to play with the old CVs back then, and no CV mirror matchmaking, ±3 matchmaking, and
±3, yeah, good old days.
Yes, good old days of matchmaking. And this ship is.
Wait,
no,
maybe we can make more guesses.
It's okay. Oh yeah, okay. So you can guess. So
it's an American.
Well, it's
ship.
an American ship.
More.
It's slow.
Oh, you gave it away. You gave it away.
I gave it away. I might have given it
ship.
away.
How many are there?
Exactly. Well, actually, quite a bit.
Which one?
Well, see, people are saying Wyoming, Texas.
Oh no,
but that's
not
Pensacola,
that.
South Carolina.
Colorado.
Colorado. Who was the first one to have it?
Fun time screen.
Yeah. So exactly, it's the Colorado. And the thing that me personally, what I like as a player is when a ship gets more accurate, because you want to punish people when they make mistakes.
Cruisers, you mean?
Everything. Battleships and cruisers. I mean, they're the most fulfilling if you land that Citadel. But yeah, so it's a Sigma change for the Colorado. So it's buffed by 0.1, which should be a nice little additional change.
More accuracy. Love it. Like, don't you love it as a cruiser player? More accurate battleships.
Well, you have to deal with it anyway.
Andre, so what is the reason that you're giving more buff to this nice, slow ship?
The main reason is previous ship, New Mexico, has 12 guns, 12 barrels, and moving to 80 barrels, you get a lot of how to say it? You get less hits on this decreased number of shells, and we just want to increase this number of hits to decrease the number of misses, of course.
Yeah, so that's great because I mean you have other battleships on that tier with more guns, and so you're actually making up for having less shells that potentially might hit, but they're more accurate. So that's a nice thing. For me, the Warspite is a really good example of how a ship like this can play. You have really accurate guns, and you make your shots count.
Let's now move to one of the boats that I not enjoyed so much because I didn't know how to play back then. But now it's a fun boat. Now it's gonna get even more fun.
Oh!
Wow!
Andre, you're doing something.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my micro better.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I think now it's better. Yeah.
It's better right now.
Yes, it's much better now.
Okay.
Okay.
And now?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
So this is much better.
We need noise cancellation, but I don't think we can invent it right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll try.
Okay.
So just one question beforehand, because I see a question for why is there no Mr. Conway? So Mr. Conway, yes, I sacrificed him to the god of RNG, so I can finish all of the campaigns in time. That's basically that was the price to pay.
You guys don't like me or what? Oh, man.
No. Mr. Conway today, he was doing a lot of the streams the last times, and we're trying to shift it around a bit so that he can also spend some time with his family every once in a while, so that his kids actually get to see him, and not just you guys. But don't worry, next week you will have the full twin power to talk about. Well, unless something happens, but I hope nothing happens.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah. Living on the edge. But anyways, so yeah, the next ship we're going to talk about. Do you want to have the honors and push the button?
I don't know how to make this ship to be guessed. It's a very fast boat, so it's a Russian boat. I don't know. Well, if I say anything more, it will be easily guessed. I can really troll by saying the name of this ship is a city.
Oh, we have a special guest.
Oh no, what is that?
Oh,
okay, I see. We are promoting something here. It looks very weird, guys. Just take a look at it. This is our companion. This can be Mr. Conway.
Well, for today, but it's actually we got him a name during our last tournament stream, and it's actually Torpezus.
Oh my god, that sounds.
That was a name that chat decided on, so blame chat. Clearly.
Yes, we need to do something with Torpezus.
So guys, would you like to have this a torpedo, basically?
I want to know how many people are interested in getting not
I
the
don't- I
exact
don't-
same setup, but you know the.
I don't
setup.
think anybody.
Nobody. Okay, fuck it. Let's just throw it.
Nobody.
Away.
I don't see any yes or hype or gib now. So chat, I'm disappointed. Disappointed. Now we blame you. We wanted to have it, but you don't want it.
Fall over.
Yeah.
Bugger.
Captain Torpezus. You know what? You know we're very close to our community, and if you just get enough people to say yes,
we can make it happen.
Yes. Post it on Reddit. Get people to vote for it. Maybe we can make it happen.
But honestly, we are trying to create some funny way or some effective way to get this thing in production somehow. We will see. We're working on it. I see the chat is slightly lit up, but we will see.
Cool.
We really want to know like how much you love this thing.
So let me check whether anybody actually guessed the ship correctly.
Yes, somebody did. I saw.
Okay.
So let me move on quickly.
Okay. Yeah. we love
Kiev. Woohoo! Yes. Oh well, no, sorry, no Tashkent, but Kiev for sure. So what are the changes?
So basically, what we did is we added the repair party consumable to the slot where the smoke generator is located. So you can actually pick whether you want to go for the smoke or you want to have the heal.
Yes.
And,
so you pick
it's
your choice now. Do you want
Exactly.
to play aggressive, or you can be also like just smoke up and bail out every time you're in trouble? The number of charges are standard.
Oh, I see. I see already chat going ham because there's a tier 7. So Mr. Cobway, when he created this, I think he was still thinking about the old Kiev, which was on tier 7. To be fair,
Oh.
but it's not a tier 7.
We did not move the tier, just to be very
No,
clear.
no, it's not moved. So please. So guys, we were just checking whether you're paying attention.
This is how he
Clearly.
sabotages the stream when he's not on the stream.
Exactly.
I see.
Now he's sitting at home. He's going to clip it and laugh his ass off.
Oh my god. Anyway, reload time is 80 seconds for the premium one and 120 seconds for the
Standard times.
The duration is 28 seconds and his standard repair amount of 0.5 HP per second. Like.
Exactly.
So, keeping the theme of Russian DDs, we will go to the next one, which I really liked, but I really felt sorry whenever I played. It's... Wait, let's... I think we will have a blanket question with Andre, like, because the next buff... Next buff is also about Russian DD, which is Ognevoy.
Exactly.
And it's getting similar buff. Exact same?
No, not exactly the same, because you won't have to basically make the choice between going for the smoke or going for the heal. You will get the heal additionally.
So Andre, why there is this difference between Kiev and Ognevoy? Why Ognevoy gets an extra slot where Kiev doesn't, and you have to make this conscious choice?
Because the main thing, because it's more logic according to the next ship in Tech 3. Because after Kiev you got Tashkent with the same logic with heal with repair party or smoke generator, and Kiev will get all totally the same logic. You have to choose between one thing or another. You can hide or you can repair. You can heal.
Okay, so
for Ognevoy and Udaloy, they
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
They became okay. Ognevoy and Udaloy become more logic and more similar to Grozovoi, tier 10 Soviet destroyer, because this ship has already one repair party with the same parameters.
Okay. We are having some bad internet connection.
Yeah. So yeah, so just to sum up, if you guys couldn't understand it, basically with the Kiev, she was brought in line with Tashkent and Kaba to have a better progression there, and then the Ognevoy, it makes sense to add it to the Ognevoy, and I can just showcase this.
So
the same thing is happening to the Odaloy, so they're basically in line with the Grozovoy having the additional heal because they were underperforming a bit. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. But we still have 3 ships to go.
Should we?
I don't know. Maybe chat wants it.
Chat, do you want more buffs? Or not? Nobody likes buffs. Come on. Everybody likes nerf.
Well, everybody wants it for his favorite ship.
Okay. We have 3 more to go. So
The question is what nation...
Well, we can't ask now and buff on the spot.
No, but what...
Andre, can you buff on the spot?
That would be fun, yeah.
No, that would be on demand. I want to buff. I don't know. Boise. No, just kidding. Okay, let's move to our next country, next nation.
Yeah, next nation.
Which is the Japanese line.
Exactly.
And we're going to move to... Oh, you want to do a quiz around this?
No, it's fine. We can do a quiz around the next one.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Nagato. Nagato. It's getting also a buff of reload time from 32 to 30 seconds.
You wanted to give it a reload booster?
Andre, can we?
No.
No. Yeah, please, no.
It would be fun, just for laughs.
Only for the guy who plays.
Have you heard about stealth buffs? We could have given a stealth buff. That would be amazing. Like, oh, now I already all of a sudden have a reload booster. That would be amazing. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't. So yes, it's getting a buff of 2 seconds, which is great. I think the 32 seconds now in meta feels too long.
Yes, I mean, this is something that just happens with the game over time because a lot of changes in the meta happen. New lines get added, new modes. People also really know the weaknesses of the existing ships that have been with the game for a very long time. And what we are doing is, so first of all, we are reading your feedback. And this is why it's really crucial that you guys give us your feedback, even if it's about something like a ship that isn't new, but you still think it could use some love or help.
Absolutely.
So please always make sure to give that feedback to us. We're very happy to read it. We're very happy to pass it along to our developers so they can look into it, look into the stats. Is there any way they can help the ship without breaking anything? So please make sure to send us this. And we also keep an eye on the stats. And check out which ship is suffering. I mean, you've seen us doing a lot of balance changes over the past months to make sure that
oh my god,
special guest.
Oh yes, the special guest. Oh, what?
Now Igor ran away.
Oh.
So.
Andre, why Nagato? Why did you pick Nagato?
Why? What? Repeat, please.
Why did you pick Nagato for this buff?
The reasons is very similar to Colorado, because the previous ship Fuso has a lot of guns and it's easy to make damage on her.
Mm-hmm.
And we can say the same thing for Nagato, because this transition from Fuso to Nagato is not very easy and very soft. We want to make it more easier. And Nagato already have very good Sigma, and it's a good idea to increase her damage ability using only a lot time.
Awesome. We are getting some more reports internally now that the sound quality is not so great, but we can't, seriously guys, we cannot change anything right now. But I really hope you can.
Oh, actually, what we can try is actually someone is going to help you, Andre, with the sound. So we might actually change the headsets in a second.
Should we not spoil the next one?
No, what we can do is you guys have to guess what ship.
The next ship.
Next ship. What might it be?
Oh, he can't hear me now. Andre, you can't hear us? No.
Maybe we'll have to restart. So while our colleagues are going to help Andre.
There we have.
Okay. So what I will do quickly, I will just move back here, because here.
Wait. We will take a break because I hear some language.
No, that's fine. Stream doesn't hear it.
Okay.
That's the beauty of the setup.
Okay. Now we are safe.
So.
Oh my god.
So the next ship I can give that piece of information is also a Japanese ship. It's a ship I read a lot about when it comes to the topic of it could use some love.
Yes, the joys of knowing a bit of Russian is amazing. Yes, this is fun.
Yeah. Oh, I see some.
I
see some right guesses there.
Let's Let's give you more hint. It's a premium ship.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Can you hear us? Whoops. He says he doesn't hear him at all. What happened all of a sudden?
Well, you changed nothing. Maybe just recall him. Drop the
Okay.
call.
Okay. I'm not gonna repeat what's going on.
I'm just happy I don't understand Russian.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay. Good. Oh. All right.
Okay. Now we just need to get the
Video.
Can you activate video?
Can you start video?
Okay, just give it a second until it pops up.
It's-
Then we can go. Wow, Asashio. Guys, do you really think the Asashio would need a nerf? Would need a buff?
Asashio. Okay. Wow. I'm lost for words, Asashio. Yes, what kind of buff would you like to give?
Wow, I still love that people just keep posting Stalingrad.
No.
Almost
Oh,
Japanese.
you want to buff Stalingrad?
Mikasa. So I have to say that me personally, I would love to see a Mikasa with a longer secondary range, but I keep asking guys, but then they say it's going to be
It's
too strong.
already
But
a buff
I'm
on the
trying.
tier 2
I'm
being a
trying.
balance
I'm trying, guys.
ship.
I'm fighting for the Mikasa's buff. I'm fighting for you guys.
Andre, you have to switch on your camera. I don't see you. Yes.
Okay, cool. So then we can go back to this beauty.
Okay.
Thanks.
So yeah, so the
going on?
guys,
Yes.
a lot of guys were actually right. They guessed the correct ship. It's going to be and
Oh
it's
no!
wait, it's great. It's the key, so that's correct. Now,
What was
guys,
the
guess what's the buff is.
Anybody wants to guess the buff on key? No? Oh well, there is a delay. We have to wait 15 seconds before it shows up. No? Sigma, armor, torps, AA, everything.
Radar.
Buff
Wow.
everything. We want radar.
Torps. And torps are correct,
Woohoo.
but not only the torps. So
Not just torps.
So first of all, main battery reload time reduced by 1 second, so nothing crazy, but it will help a bit, shaving off that 1 second. And then you have now, well, not now, but we're testing it. You would have 10-kilometer torps on the key, and as you know, the key torpedoes, they're actually located in the back of the ship. So that's going to be really helpful compared to, for example, the Tirpitz, where the torpedoes are.
You can YOLO more.
Yes, and the damage is also woof. So I already kind of apologize for those who will have to suffer team kills.
Oh, come. No, this is amazing.
No. Yeah, but yeah, Andre, why?
No, I was saying they're viable torps now. They're not
they're
just
viable
like,
torps.
I have a torp, but I don't want to use
I
it.
don't think I have been torped by a key yet, which says a lot.
Let's make it happen, chat. You heard it. If you see Chrysanthos in battle,
God,
and
and
you
you know
have
what?
key,
You know what? I
You're gonna rush to him and you're gonna torp him, and that's
we
it.
We will have to talk to Mr. Conway because he put the key on tier 7 again.
Oh,
So it's not going to be moved, guys. So Mr. Conway will have to have a talk tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's obviously on tier 8.
Great.
But yeah, Andre, why go for the torpedoes and not something else?
It's really kind of experiment. It's interesting thing. What if Battleship will get reliable torpedoes for his tier, for her tier, and he right now get torpedoes not for last chance hit, then he really close to another battleship, but kind of weapon, not always for last hit. And the key has very weak broadside, and previous torpedoes force key to show her broadside and be very fragile. Right now she can do it from better distance and with better efficiency. Increasing of damage is only according to low number of torpedoes on her torpedo tubes, and will just allow her to make reliable damage.
Cool. Well, I'm sure that all of the key owners are going to be very happy about this. And let me just quickly, while people can guess about the next ship, I will just reinitialize the capture card to check that this is going to
Reinitialize what? Sorry.
the capture card. Just screen like Andre. We're going to be back in 1 second. I will just might be that the sound issue is coming from.
Now the mic sensitivity is too high.
Where did we wait? Actually, I have to do it here.
Don't freak out, guys. It was a typo. I'm not gonna show the key screen again. People are really freaking out. Oh, it got a really big buff. It got down tiered. Woohoo! No. It's at tier 8. It's a typo. Oh.
Yeah, that's intentional. Okay, so I hope the sound, if that was the issue, then the sound should be better now. Okay, and then the next ship that we're going to have, the last ship for today, is going to be a ship that I know a lot of people have some issues with, and felt like it's a really really demanding grind to get to your dear tier 10.
And it's second time we're buffing it in short duration, if I remember.
Yes, so the last buff we applied to this ship was actually a buff to the penetration over range, so that you would have to actually a better application of the penetration.
Somebody already guessed it.
Yeah, this is an obvious one, and I'm pretty sure you guys going to love this, and it is the Izumo.
Izumo!
And she's going to get a really nice buff of Sigma from 1.8 to 2.0, which means it's going to be more accurate. So I guess everybody who likes that ship is going to be happy, and everybody who had some issues with this ship might actually try it, because now the guns are more accurate and they got the penetration buff earlier.
That's a substantial buff to Sigma.
Yes, it is. So I think that ship is actually probably a good topic for Andre to talk about how we look at balancing and not just doing it like once and then never look at the ship again.
Yes, Andre. So Sigma buff to Izumo. Why?
For Izumo, it's simple. It's in the same time it's complicated and it's simple. Right now, it's really increasing quality of life of the ship. Izumo already had a lot of several buffs in a few times, but we want to buff this ship step by step, because it's not really it's hard to predict how our changes will affect on this ship. It's not very common ship according to her unusual turrets positions and rotating angles. So on, we don't want to make a really big buff and make some nerfs after this if it will be too overpowered. We just want to make one step, okay, it's not enough, another step, okay, it's not enough, another step, oh, it's okay. Right now, we hope that this quality of life change will provide this battleship really good statistics and really good, I don't know, perception during the gameplay on her.
I always struggled in Izumo. I mean, I won't say I really hated it, but oof, it was painful.
She's an oddling, because especially after coming from the Amagi, which is more like a battle cruiser. It's fast. You have to play dynamically. You have to move a lot to get all of the turrets on target without showing too much broadside. And then the Izumo is preparing you kind of for the Yamato, and very
in a hard way.
in a kind of a hard way. But you learn how to play a bit more bow on, how to. Most people make the mistake that they try to get the third turret into the action on the same target, so they show too much broadside. But yeah, it's a tricky ship. It took me quite a few battles to get used to it, like 15 to 20, I guess, when I played the first time. But then she was kind of fun for me. But this way should be better. There's one ship that I see mentioned a lot here in chat that we could maybe. I don't know, can we...
Which one?
So the Biskavica. The Biskavica is a ship that is being mentioned a lot in chat.
Yes.
And it's not on the list of the ships that are being buffed. Maybe Andre, you can talk a bit about a ship like the Biskavica. How do we look at it, and in what scenario would we buff it?
Biskavica. Yes, please.
I've heard a lot of mentions about Biskavica, according to her not so good gameplay, and I really understand why our players feedback us about her. But we have a kind of problem. Her statistics is very good right now. Is too good right now. It's not. I can say that she's overpowered, but she's totally fine. And if we'll give her really mentionable buff, she will be OP. We want to find a way to buff her without really big impact on statistics, but with really good increasing, as I mentioned before, for Izumo, quality of life. Because right now she's not very comfort, but she's good. We want to make her much more comfortable, but left her statistics like it is right now.
Okay. Well, that's a tough one, guys.
Yeah. So I hope that can give you guys a little bit of an insight into how we look at it. So we do read your feedback. We know how you feel about certain ships. We also have to look at numbers to make sure that the ships are in balance, and that we just not, just because by popular demand we buff a certain ship and then it's too strong. So that's the kind of balance that Andre's team has to find. And but still, keep giving us your feedback so we can pass it along, and then we can see whether we can find a solution where the ship is more fun to you to play without breaking the balance. And so there might be
a balance. No, we will have to find a balance. I think it's wrong to assume that we just look at stats. That's not entirely correct. We really look at the fun factor too, and we know that, as Andre was saying, like statistically, yeah, it's in a good place, but fun-wise, it can need some love. But if we give it something that is like, I don't know, like all the buffs we've spoken about, maybe it will break the balance completely on that tier. So we need to be careful, and we need to be, let's say, inventive, like what kind of buffs we can have. So we will think about this. It's the most important thing is that we haven't forgotten about that ship. We know maybe we need to do something with it. It's not like we are like, okay, this is done. We are not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah. So give us some time and maybe we can find a solution for this. I also know where this is coming from. I think the Biskavica is actually my DD with the highest battle count. I think I have like 300 or something in that ship. Back in the day when you still had invisi firing, basically firing from invisibility because the detection system worked differently when it came to DDs. That was a thing that was going for the Biskavica, and you could play it on long range, which is simply not possible with the current mechanics anymore because it's not an intended mechanic. It's not like we can... I mean, we could give it back to the ship, but we don't want to give it back to the ship. It's something we wanted to have eliminated from that. Now, to find a better role for her, it's a challenge, so we'll have to look into it. But we know what you mean, guys. Yes, and
that was a long list of buffs.
Yes, long list of buffs and
we're
long
not
talk.
done yet. Well, we are kind of done.
So that's the buffs. We have a, let's say, minor nerf to announce that is coming for like a subclass of ships, I would say.
Yes, the fire duration.
The fire duration. It's something that we already talked about, but the first time we talked about it, we were only talking about upcoming ships. For example, the Azuma and the Alaska. Because it's easy for us to roll a change like this into the game and into a ship when it's not released yet. Because it's easy to just make it part of the release. But we're going to apply the same change, to Stalingrad and to the Kronstadt, which is a fire duration increase from 45 to 60 seconds to basically deal a bit with the survivability of these very large cruisers.
Very large, yes, that's the word. So, Andre, how did we get to this point that these things are going to get like 45 to 60 seconds nerf?
According to their gameplay, it's ships which are really stay between battleships and cruisers. They have very good weapon. They have very good armor for cruiser, and they have very good HP pool for cruiser. According to this, regular cruisers can make damage to these big cruisers only by fire, or if they make a mistake and show their broadside and get citadels, so on. If you can play on these very big cruisers with good positioning, place yourself in correct places and don't show your broadside to enemies, they become too invulnerable for regular cruisers. The only one option to make them really good damage is fires, because direct HE damage is good enough but not enough, because HP pool is good, and these cruisers should get more damage from fire to make more balanced with other regular tier 10 cruisers. That's the reason, the main reason.
Yeah, guys, and just to reiterate, so Kronstadt is tier 9, Alaska is tier 9, Stalingrad is tier 10, and Izumo is tier 10. So
yeah, so we have another boo. We put Alaska tier 10. Oh, that would be a
no. So it's basically it's a very focused change just on survivability for these ships. Basically, just increasing the duration of potential fires, and that's it. So shouldn't have a huge impact on the game, but makes it a bit easier to deal with these ships.
I'm bracing myself for tier 10 Alaska memes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reddit will go ham. Forums will go ham.
Okay. We cannot talk about what the Izuma's way into the game is, because I saw some questions about Izuma and how she's going to be in the game.
Our favorite.
Stay tuned. More information incoming as soon as we're ready to do this. So
yes,
stay tuned. We cannot talk about it right now.
There is still some work left to be done with.
Exactly. And Alaska, I mean, she's on the horizon. She's definitely closer than the Izuma to coming to the game.
That's enough.
Soon tier. Yes.
You said enough.
I said enough.
Okay.
I said exactly the right amount.
Oh, I pressed it twice.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
Yes.
so the
last topic is a big topic.
but it's not the least for sure, and it's not a. Is it? It's a buff. It's a buff for something, and it's a nerf for something.
It's a balance change, and it's a balance change that we've been talking about a lot. And it's great that we have Andre here to talk a bit about this aspect of the game. And just I see a question that I can answer immediately is JFC Full is asking, will the snowflakes continue until the delayed patch? Yes. Basically, the campaign to get Prince Eitel Friedrich is going to be prolonged. The snowflakes are going to be prolonged. The collection is going to be prolonged. And the only thing that's not prolonged is the actual steal mission you got when buying the Prince Eitel Friedrich in the Admiral's package.
Yes.
So the Nerves of Steel mission. That's the one that is not prolonged. Everything else is prolonged until the next update hits. Okay, so the change we're talking about.
Can anybody guess? Let's see. Oh my god, I got the opposite in the chat.
Yeah. You got the opposite?
Oh no,
Actually,
Andre can't hear us again. We need to call him back again.
Yeah, you just call him back. There's actually one change that we haven't talked about, because there's a ship that wasn't on the list.
Huh?
On the image list.
Oh yes. Oh no. Oh, how did we miss this thing? This was on top of our list.
So the cool thing is that we do send feedback to our developers, right? And we also send a list of kind of ships that are on the top list of player
Somebody
complaints.
already guessed it.
And that ship, it's in the hood. Of course, it's the British tier 7 battleship hood, which is a ship that I see a lot of complaints about. mostly about the gun performance. And the cool thing is that she will get a Sigma buff from 1.9 to 2.0. And the AP fuse delay will be increased from 0.015 to 0.03, which basically means that she has a fuse timing where the armor-piercing shells will detonate more often in the citadels of ships with armor, but you might have a higher chance to actually overpenetrate lightly armored cruisers. No Alaska tier 10. Exactly, guys. And all good?
Mic is too loud.
Yeah, the mic is too loud. Chat can't hear it right now, so it's all good. Yeah.
He can't hear us. That's very odd.
Wait, he should be able to hear us.
No, he can't hear you. Oh, disconnect.
Well, I have to take this off. This is too loud. Oof. Sorry, I just need to... No, it's the right setting for us. It's on his side.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, you should repeat the buffs to Hood. I think it got lost in
yes.
a lot
so,
of
so yeah, the buff to Hood is very straightforward. Increase from 1.9 to 2.0 Sigma, and the AP fuse will be delayed, which means that the armor-piercing shells, we're talking about armor-piercing shells, they will detonate more often in a citadel of armored ships because it takes longer for the AP shell to detonate. And hopefully Andre can hear us now.
No, he can't hear us still. That is very strange, I would say. Should we put to this one? No, it wouldn't change it. He should still hear us.
We did not change a thing, so it must be...
Andre, we can hear you, but strange that you can't hear us.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to take this off for a second. Yeah, you guys can hear us. It's more about our interview partner who can't hear us now.
I think we gave too many buffs.
one buff too many.
Actually, I'm surprised somebody was counting 11 ships. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, there was 10. Where is the 11th one? Good catch, guys. Good catch.
Exactly. And no, Dr. Snakecake,
no,
we won't increase the chance of detonation for the Hood to increase historical accuracy. Sorry.
So we need Andre's voice for the next topic for sure, and this isn't working. Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Magic.
Now you can hear us.
Magic.
Perfect.
So we go to this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. The final big thing we are going to talk about is that nobody guessed it, right?
No, I don't think so.
Or maybe somebody did and we ignored.
Yeah, we were. I think we were busy with fixing this.
Sorry. Yes. So it's a buff for someone, for a class, and a nerf for another class. But anybody can. It's an easy guess, I believe.
We can just talk about it.
It's radar. Yes, it's radar, and let's talk about what changes are going to happen for radar.
Yes.
Huh?
There you go.
Okay. So yes, we have finalized kind of how we want to change how radar works. The current mechanic is kind of overwhelming for DD when you are in a cap and you are under radar. Everybody is just pointing gun at you, ready to kill you there and then. We think it's slightly too excessive, but we'll hear from Andre. And the proposed change is that when a cruiser or let's say Missouri is radaring you as a destroyer, oh my god, I was about to say something wrong which I shouldn't have. That ship will be rendered only for the ship that is radaring you. So not the whole team will be able to see you there and then. There will be a delay before the whole team can see you under the smoke or behind the island. You will be still spotted on the mini-map, but on the actual binocular view, you will not be visible for X amount of time.
Yeah, it's very easy. So basically, for the cruiser who has the radar, There is not really a change. You push the radar button, the enemy ship will just pop up. The other ships that would be helping you focusing the target that you just lit up with that radar, they would see the ship a little bit later.
Yes.
Which basically decreases a bit the efficiency of the pushing the radar button right away, and then suddenly, like it feels like 7 ships are shooting you. But you still will see the detected ship on the minimap. But you simply won't be able to shoot him right away as an allied ship, not the cruiser.
So
as the cruiser, you can, or the ship with the radar can still just go
So the
ahead.
destroyer has some more time to react and get out of the situation, or try to get out of the situation without being completely focus fire. So Andre, tell us like where does this change come from and why this specific change has been proposed? Right? Andre, are you with us?
I think he lost us.
I think he's not. Andre?
But maybe just tell him over here that he just talk about radar.
Andre, this is
weird.
I guess we have some problems with sound right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, but you can't hear us. So you won't hear this.
Yeah, okay, I'll try, because there is some technical problems. About radar, about radar, the main thing with radar right now is that destroyer who is catched by radar got too much damage and have too small changes to stay alive. Right now, our goals was to don't change anything in interaction of author of radar, the cruiser who start this consumable, and the destroyer who is spotted by radar. And the thing that we are going to change is really slightly decrease the initial damage that his allies can do to this destroyer, to allow him several chances to stay alive after this. It's really very few seconds of this pause between starting radar and allowing all enemy teammates to see this destroyer, and this will allow this destroyer to understand what happens and that he should try to escape from this situation. I think it's
Yes.
okay. It's all about this changes of radar.
Exactly. So I saw some comments in chat regarding team play is dead with this. It's not. It's basically what we're doing is we're reducing the time frame when the entire team can apply the damage to DD, but you're still able to do this. So as soon as you have a cruiser that is actually pushing the radar button, you still have the ship visible at some point that you can shoot it. It's just not going to be the full duration that you have right now. So it's going to be a few seconds that delay. We don't have the final numbers right now. We are going to share them at some point, but it's more of like that you can see the concept behind it.
I will call him again.
Yes, so that's the idea behind it. Sorry, we're just trying to reestablish contact with Andre here. But
Can you hear us now? No.
so just okay. We'll see. When it comes to short-term radar, we will have to see about this. But the reality of the gameplay right now is that radar is too strong. In that regard, that it basically allows an entire team to apply a lot of damage to a DD without giving the DD the chance to actually kind of react to it, which is now going to be a bit better for the DD. It's not like it's suddenly removing radar as a tool or completely nerfing the efficiency of radar in general. But obviously, an organized team is going to have slightly less time to actually shoot that target. So it's going to be a buff to the survivability of a DD. And I mean, as soon as you will see the numbers, then you can give us some feedback whether you think it's too long or too short, and we can talk about it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to establish the contact again. Oh my god. Okay, this is not fun.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think we'll just move over to a more gameplay focus. When it comes to, I see some comments about IFAG. So guys, we are looking into several aspects of the game. But right now, what we can talk about is the radar change. And if you watched, for example, the last episodes of the waterline video that we have, there are a lot of things that we're looking into right now and that we want to change about how cruisers work, how skills like IFAG are affecting different calibers. But it's too early to talk about this.
Andre, can you hear us now?
Yes, can.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Okay, cool. So let's see for how long. But then I will move him back to.
How do you suggest right now? Should we go have some battles and I can take some questions from the chat?
Yes, I think we should just have. I can play a few ships in the background, and you guys have the chance to ask some questions.
I have 22 questions. Half of them are not serious, but we'll try to entertain them.
When it comes to, I see some comments regarding line of sight, and I mean Andre can add on top of what I'm going to say, but we tried line of sight, but we built radar in a way that it has that in mind in the way it works. And we tried it with line of sight, and then the radar change is too big. It doesn't work. So this is why we won't change line of sight, because it's going to change completely the game, how it's going to work. So maybe, Andre, if you have some additional comment to this.
Andre, can you hear us? No.
Okay, so I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I think he's just losing our sound. I don't know how.
I really wonder if it's from our side, but I really don't think we haven't changed anything.
No, it's not. It can't be on our side, really, unless I can't really think of anything, because it would either work or not work at all.
It's digital, right?
That's all set up properly. So I think we'll have to move that Q&A session to another day, because I can't really fix this on the fly.
No. Oh.
What we could try is no, we can't try that right now. Sorry.
I don't know. I could be like, hello, I have a question for you. Here is your answer.
No, I'm sorry.
No?
I can't fix this on the fly.
Good work. Yeah, it seems like there's a problem with our communication tool, which is not Skype, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, it is kind of Skype, but it's not Skype. What to do now?
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm sorry. Otherwise, unless you have you could have a Skype call. Then we will only use the audio, not the face cam.
Okay, he's suggesting me to turn off my microphone. Is it right?
That's correct. That is also correct. I mean, he heard us in the beginning. We'd just change it. But otherwise, I would just switch to Skype.
How about now? Do you hear me? No. Eh? What?
Okay, let's see whether it's working now.
Wait, before you change.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Hopefully now. Now I completely lost my trail of thought. We were talking about line of sight. Line of sight and radar was suggested. We tried it, but it didn't work. No. Right, Andre? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So some people were asking about the radar change, why we do not go for a change in how radar works with the line of sight.
Why we didn't apply line of sight radar? It's very simple, because in line of sight radar, destroyers become almost invisible, because they can hide islands from radar, and cruisers should move. How to say it? They should exit from from the islands to wide water, to turn their radar on, and they become instantly died from their battleships.
Makes sense.
Yeah, on our playtest, our cruisers just stop using these mechanics and tries to hide in islands, and it's almost the same like turn off radar mechanics completely in the game. We don't want to make so big changes. We just want to slightly tune these mechanics, because interaction between I don't know, Des Moines and Shimakaze one-on-one with their radar is okay right now. The problem is then Des Moines has 6 more people near him, and Shimakaze got zillions of damage instantly. And our goal is to give that Shimakaze few seconds to try to escape. That's enough now decision making.
Yeah, and just to quickly reiterate, these changes are not live yet. We haven't tested them on public test or test server or even live servers. So those are so the changes are aim, but we don't know the value yet of this change of not being able to see the radar ship for X amount of time. So stay with us, because we will fine tune and get the best value out of it.
Exactly. So keep in mind that we're still going to test all of this to find the best possible compromise with what we want to achieve, and we will give you more information, like more detailed information about the duration once we're ready to do this. We just wanted to share with you the current state of our radar rework, so that you know what we're working on and how it's roughly going to look like, so that you already can give us some additional feedback.
And yeah, I think these are like one of the few changes we are trying. There are other things we are trying right now, but let's see how this change go first.
Exactly. So you said you had a shipload of questions.
I think so, but some of them are not so good, but I do have enough ammo.
Okay,
while
then let's
you
go.
play, so I'll see how you multi-process. I will bombard you both with questions, and while you're playing, and we'll see how you manage to answer the right question without.
Can you turn off your Skype sounds? They're popping up.
Give me a second if these notifications stop coming. Let me just. No. Yes. No. I thought I switched it off. Doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. All place. Let me first of all invite you, and there we go. Now it's gone.
What? There's nothing here. This is Ninja. Let's just kill this. Let me end task it. Yeah. Yeah. Skype is not having a good day today, guys. It's just not. Okay. This should be it. Okay, Andre, are you ready to play some games?
Yes, of course.
Let's do this.
Let's
Do you have him?
Let me invite him first. But you can start reading out the first question. So
Okay, so let's start with the first question. Oh my god, seriously? The first question, well, you can say yes or no or whatever, but is Balancegrad or Stalingrad going to get any adjustments in future?
Probably will.
Probably will. You heard this, guys. Sorting getting a fire duration adjustment. Probably will.
Are you not going to play?
I like that answer. Probably will. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Are there any buffs planned for Roma? Wow. Is that a question? Okay. Well, the answer is no.
No exact plans for nearest version. But of course, this decision will be made based on statistics and your feedback. So we hear your feedback, look on her statistics, and probably she will get some buffs in next patches, but probably not, because we can't announce it right now. Every buffs that we can announce, we already announced today.
Yes.
Next changes will be announced in their time, and we really can't announce additional changes right now.
So I'm gonna skip all the buff questions because half of them are just, when are you going to buff Yu Yang or Vanguard or XYZ? So let's skip those questions. You got the answer. And are there any new premium ships coming in 080? Well, what do you think? I won't say anything. And you don't have to say anything. It's fine. Yep. Okay. Well, any buffs? So Krasny, Krim, Molotov, no. I'm gonna skip those. Moskva, no. Shimakaze, no. No. Can we buff Jingles, please?
I don't think we have the technical capabilities to perform that kind of buff.
So we already spoke about Whiskawica. So Whiskawica. Yeah. So I'm gonna skip that part. That's an interesting question and observation, but not fully entirely correct. Why are we buffing so many ships at tier 7? Coincidence?
I think it's only coincidence, because we haven't any intention on buffing any exact tier. We buffed several ships that needed buffs, that we understand how to buff correctly to get the expected results, and it's only coincidence that part of them, I don't know, less than half, is tier 7. And nothing based on this tier. I don't know any plans about this tier, if you're asking about it.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a coincidence, guys, but long time due for a lot of ships. So, okay, again, questions about German ships, then any plans to nerf Conqueror? How's Le Terrible doing? Is doing well? What do you think about?
About Le Terrible? No, she's not doing really well. She is not bad, she's not good. She needs some love, and I can't announce any exact changes about her, because it's we already in progress of decision making yet. But I can say that yes, we want to make some changes with her.
Interesting. So
nice.
It's in the pipeline, but we don't know what we get when we get. Okay.
We know what we get, but we don't know when we get, and probably it will not be enough, and we will change, and etc. etc.
Okay. We are actually running in the very end of questions.
No. We have plenty. Sure? Yes. I see a lot of questions here. So I see a question about the 3 anniversary collection. So because I had this question on the forums recently, so because you were able to actually buy the containers in the arsenal for the 2nd year anniversary. So right now we cannot promise anything whether this will be the same for the 3rd year of anniversary, but we'll look into it. Right now I can't make any promises, but we're checking.
Okay. What, you're playing Montana? What a shock!
Yeah, surprise, right?
Oh
I just love this ship.
These guys would marry Montana if it was a.
It was my first love here in the game.
You see. And Andre's current favorite ship is Henri, and he's playing it right now. So I see both of you are in your most favorite ships.
I see a question regarding the CV rework, whether it's going to raise the bar for the minimum requirements for the system, hardware requirements.
Don't think so.
So not to my knowledge. Maybe Andre, do you?
Andre?
Will be changed our minimal requirements, no?
No.
No, they will not change it.
And you see a lot of questions there in chat that you can just read.
Okay, now I'm back to Twitch. I'm of the written questions. So, which one to take? There's so many. Trying again. Will we again introduce any special Japanese captain? Well, in some time in future, yes, but we don't know when or where or what. Not right now, not definitely, nothing in the plan.
Yes, kind of this.
Yes.
The question about fixing Matchmaker, that's a good old question. How are we going to fix the Matchmaker? Which is very hot topic for since the game has launched.
Well, from a player and community point of view, I mean, matchmaking is always like a core aspect of the game, right? Because it decides who you're going to play against, and there are very different aspects to it when it comes to who's going to get matched, just from a skill point of view. But one of the biggest topics is the matchmaking for Tier 8. Because you do actually get matched quite often against Tier 9 or Tier 10 ships, which can be challenging to play. And we actually tested some changes. I think it was with update 7.11, or was it 7.12, where we actually tried to increase the chance of getting into the battle as a top tier ship in Tier 8. Can you maybe talk a bit about this, if you can? Andre, about the matchmaking on Tier 8 and the challenges?
We don't want to...
I'll try.
Is League Police in? No.
Matchmaker is always subject to talk about and subject to change. Because it's really, I agree, big part of game. Team-based game, of course. And right now, the biggest... it's not exact matchmaker. Of course, Matchmaker caused this problem. Is Tier 8 ships, and they are they're too often how to say it, meetings with Tier 10 ships.
Meetings.
Of course.
I like
encounters on Tier 10.
Yes.
Yes, and it's the main problem for them. But right now, for me, the main problem is that Stalingrad. But I will, of course, avoid this problem. Probably. So on. It's not easy. It's not really. There is no easy solution for this problem, because the real reason of this. Whoa! I got this falling card. Because the real reason of this problem is the ability. I got the freedom from this Roma. It's in tier popularity among our players, because right now we have almost the same popularity for tier 10 and tier 8. Of course, if player choose any ship and press battle button, he should get a battle on this ship. Because it's our we obliged to provide this game to this player choose. So on. If we have almost the same flow stream, I don't know, of tier 8 and tier 10 ships, it's the average number of these ships in these battles, in ships popularity in these battles, and according to tier 8 ships popularity, provide us that as a result that tier 8 battles with tier 10 ships. We can't make players to choose another ships to say them, oh, don't play on tier 10 because we don't need it. For matchmaker reason, of course, it's a stupid thing. There is only one obvious solution. It's not really good, but it's obvious to force part of tier 10 ships to get mono tier 10 battles and to allow other ships of tier 8 mid tier 8 tier 10 ships not so often. It's not really good because tier 10 mono battles are, first of all, we don't ready technically to these battles, and we don't want to start a lot of tier 10 battles, mono tier 10 battles. Right now we are looking for better solution. Probably one of step of this solution will be mono tier 10 battles, but I think that we will not finish on this. Right now,
it sounds like a big headache.
yes, it's a big headache for last several months for us, and I can say that we already had a perfect solution, but we are really close to it. I think that design of the solution will be finished soon. If we will check this in simulation of battles, we can of course make a special program which will emulate players enters to battles on exact ships, etc. Run it with our current matchmaker logic, so look at the results, understand that it's the same like we can see right now in our statistics, change the logic and check what will be changes, what changes we will get. If we will QA this solution, if we will get a proof of this solution in these simulations, we will apply it and we will get it on our production servers.
So in short, like, we are always trying to improve the matchmaker in different ways. One of the ways how you described, and
right now we have no simple solution, and we are going to find really good solution, and it's not really easy.
Yes, it's not as easy, guys. Just say ±1, because then it just has many adverse effects that we see in simulations and on our playtests.
+-1 is another thing, because it will really punish tier 10 ships, first of all, and it's the main problem, and have a lot of another design problems. It's one of solutions, of course, for tier 8 exact, but it will generate another problems, and it's one of the possible way to solve that problems, these new problems, and we investigating in this too, of course. But I think that first of all we'll provide that hard solution for this, and after we will look for other solutions. I can't understand myself in the last sentence.
It's complicated, guys.
Yes,
it's very
complicated. The main thing that, of course, we understand that it's currently the main problem with Matchmaker right now with tier 8, and I think that it's good that it's the main problem, because previous problems for last 3 years were really bigger. And we are deeply investigating this problem, and we will solve it.
Ooh, yeah. So that answers a lot of questions that I'm reading in the chat, which are just related to Matchmaker right now. I'm trying to scroll up and see if I got more questions. Oh, okay. So there are questions related to floodings with AP penetrations below the waterline. So what do we think about that? We don't have to answer it if we don't have an answer, but there is an interesting question there, I would say.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. The main thing here, we had these mechanics in early alpha. I really can't remember, was it released for external players, or it was only on internal tests, more than 5 years ago, probably. But the main answer right now is that we don't need to get more floodings right now in game. because HP shells already provide you really appropriate damage. It will, if we are talking about floodings, additional damage for these ships, we are talking first of all about battleships because they have the biggest AP shells and can cause the biggest chance of floodings, of course. And we don't need to increase but very good damage. So on, we don't have anything against these mechanics right now, but it's not suitable for current gameplay and classes balance.
Okay.
Yes,
Alright.
and just imagine, I mean, from a game point of view, if suddenly battleship hitting you with AP shells would cause floodings, flooding does deal a lot of damage, so that would be very, very punishing.
Yes.
And not, for example, make battleships change to HE to deal the higher amount of damage. So it's a tricky topic.
Andre, we sometimes lose you, or your voice sometimes goes off. I don't know if it's a systematic failure, or is it an internet, or is it your microphone?
It's not internet because I can hear you
Okay.
without any problems.
Okay, I'll try to recap what you're saying every now and then. The next question is, well, have we thought about when we're thinking about radar changes to make the radar ship visible when that ship uses the radar?
It will not change any. I understand it. It's hard to explain, and it will not provide any really big changes because in the vast majority of too much radar situations, this happens then the ship that run radar, that use radar, is already behind the islands and nobody can hit that one, for example, or Rochester or Worcester.
It was kind of answered by you before, because we don't think that radar coming out in open water and using radar is a thing that...
Particularly, yes. But the main thing right now is that that will not save the destroyer that we want to slightly help, but it will just make more, afraid or pressure on radar ship because he will afraid of using radar.
All right. This is a question about taking out Missouri or any premium ship out of rotation. Will they ever come back? We don't know, guys. We took them out for a reason, and they might come back. They might never come back. We will see. This is something that we haven't decided yet. Okay. The next question is about, how about guarantees of percentage on super container drops and purchase containers? So if after X amount of containers open, you're guaranteed to get something new. So kind of rigging the RNG in that sense. I don't know, Andre, you can speak about this, but it's hard to specifically change the RNG based on the behavior, because then it might create side effects on the overall drops.
No, it can be designed without side effects, and we are thinking about it. It's good feature. We not ready to develop it right now. No, we can't talk about it. We just can't say then this feature will appear in our game.
Wow.
Because we think about it. It's good. We just don't ready to start to develop it because right now our different events took almost all our time of development time, and we just have no time to develop this feature because we can develop 1 zillion of features in one time simultaneously. So on, we have this feature in backlog, and we will it will appear, then we will be ready to develop it. And
that's a news for me too. So I stand corrected actually. It's a very good to hear that it's in the backlog somewhere. We don't know when it comes out, but it's being considered. That's just very good to hear. There is a question about what do we think about secondary armaments in the game, if they can be improved somehow, because right now there is a very 1 or 0 relationship between secondary weapons on your ship. So if you have really good secondary guns, then you are really good. If you don't have any, then it's just you just don't want to use it. There is no middle ground. So have you thought about finding that middle ground for secondary armament?
Middle ground, it's the position between good secondaries and no secondaries.
Yes.
I think that we have several ships which have secondaries, but they are not too good. No, for example, all American battleships have really good secondaries, but they have not enough
range.
Yeah, range, but the secondaries are good. They need only range. It's middle ground, because if you got secondaries from 5 from secondaries from these ships, you will not be happy. It's better than bad secondaries right now.
Okay, yeah, I thought so too. Like Americans are in a good middle ground when it comes to secondaries. If you really want to spec it.
Probably you want to talk about another middle ground, but I'm not sure that I can.
No, it was more about secondary guns. Okay, there is a question about captain skills reset for 080. I think for that I can say like stay tuned for next week. Yes, there should be more information on that.
We'll provide additional information after.
Again, there's a question about how any possible steel can be available to non-ranked clan battle players. Well, it was.
That's the thing. I mean, we saw a lot of feedback regarding the availability of steel for the regular player, and we took that feedback and we tried to come up with an idea of how we can make steel available for sometimes special events, like we did, for example, with the snowflakes during the Christmas period, or, for example, with combat missions. And we'll have to see when the next time for that could be, or whether there's going to be a next time. For now, you actually had the chance to get pretty big chunk of steel just by having your tier 9, tier 10 regular tech ships, or your tier 8 and tier 9 premium ships, and have a daily win, get some steel on top of that. And then the good thing is about ranked and clan battles, you don't necessarily have to be an amazing player to get to that. It's not like you get to rank 1 and that's when you get all of the steel. No, you get some steel also beforehand. So you can still play these modes. You don't have to be the best player ever, and you can get some additional steel every once in a while, and so save up for the ship of your choice. But yeah, I think that's the best thing we can say, right? Looking at
yes, stay tuned as usually. Maybe not. Let's take the next question. I'm trying to understand what the question is, but it says like, is it possible to have a feature which is like a build feature for tier 10 ships where we can have different purpose, like this is a random build, this is a competitive build, this is a clan battles build, this is ranked build, or this kind of like You click and then your ship is in that preset. With camos, flags, captain skills, everything.
Understand. It's almost the same answer. It's good feature, and we understand why it will be good if this feature will appear in game. The bad thing is that it's UI heavy feature, and UI development. Well, we should spend our UI development resources very carefully, because almost every feature in the game needs additional UI attention, and it's not easy to pay so much cost of development for the sake of this not very big feature. It's good feature. It's quality of life feature, but it's not so necessary, because we have workaround on this problem, and unfortunately we can't make, as I said, dozens of features in the same time. This feature is in the backlog too, but I guess it's in another team backlog, so it probably have almost the same destiny like previous one, like controllable drop from super containers, etc., etc. I think the answer will be the same. Good feature in backlog, not really close, but we are looking for this.
Yeah, it's competing with other bigger things that we have to fix first.
Yes.
Okay. There's a common question I see a lot. It's about is there a way to encourage people to take more risks and reward them for spotting more in terms of XP or credits?
Theoretically, it's possible. In the real world, it's possible too, but not so easy, because if we will directly increase planar reward for these things, it will be really easy to abuse and to earn inappropriate reward in random battles and in operations too, because operations economics is really based and really intersect with random one. We should implement kind of really complex feature with big rewarding for small spotting, less rewarding for bigger spotting, almost zero rewarding for extremely big spotting, which you can get only according to abuse, etc., etc. Right now we don't want to make this really complex feature, because we have reward for victory, and if you show very good spotting and really help your team to win the game, you will get this reward not directly, but I don't know how to say it in English. Not indirect way, because you will help your team to win, and you will get additional victory according to
performance, spotting performance. Okay, makes sense.
Not directly according to spotting performance, but according to that fact that you help your team win, and your team with these actions will win more frequently.
Support it. Okay. Yeah, so I can understand, like, it's very easy to abuse this. You just go YOLO and you get so much XP just for YOLOing everywhere, and then you're finished, like you're dead in first 5 minutes, but you get so much XP, which is unfair for a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's tricky to balance to
Yes.
basically give rewards for the right team play behavior, but to not make it abusable. So it's always a balance question, and we're trying to find the best sweet spot. There is a question regarding the effect of the change to radar and concealment to ships, like for example the Wooster. So we actually nerfed the Wooster because we adjusted the radar range of the Wooster, and as you guys should know by now, or might know, is that we're changing the way Concealment Expert works.
Yeah.
We're basically changing it from I can actually show it here.
Yeah,
in
it's
my
a good
commander
question.
skill.
I totally read it, answer on it. Of course, it's connected things. We wouldn't make any changes directly in that patch, then we will provide other changes. But obviously, we will look on the changes, understand exactly how they will. How changes will provide these radar changes in gameplay terms, in statistic terms, etc., 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 and it's very likely that we will pay attention to booster gain. After we really very fast, after we get a knowledge how this change affect the gameplay and balance of our ships.
Okay. I have a very interesting question. Any plans to have torpedoes where you can switch the depth during the battle? So deep water to normal level and then back, depending on the target. That would be very OP, I would say.
Right now we don't want to make this feature because we value the thing that enemies of this ship should understand. Can this ship provide danger for you or no? Be dangerous for you or no? For example, if you can switch these torpedoes, your enemy wouldn't understand. Can you hit him torpedoes or no? It's a good thing, understandable dangers of your enemies, and right now we don't want to make ships with unknown torpedoes type.
And one thing I see
probably it will be changes later. But right now we think that it's really a big thing, a big value, understanding of your enemies, of your force, and it's good to save this point.
So two things I wanted to say, chat. So I see some questions regarding the CB rework, and today we don't really want to focus on the CB rework. It's more about the game balance for the other ships. When it comes to the CB rework, we'll have a special stream next week, same time, same place. We're going to talk with guests from St. Petersburg about the CB rework and all of the questions you might have regarding basically all the aspects of that CB rework. And I saw a question about submarines. So we tested, there was a question about submarines and how that is going to affect balance. Ooh. So that's, of course, one of the biggest topics there are when it comes to introducing submarines. We tried them for now in PvE, in our Halloween mode, to see how they would fare against surface vessels, whether it's a fun way of implementing the gameplay, how all of that works, how you guys feel about it. And I'm not sure what the current internal state about it is when it comes to checking all of the stats and the feedback and so on, and then see what our next steps are.
Current internal state is headache.
Okay.
And a lot of painkillers.
Interesting headache.
Yes, it's a good challenge, but it's a challenge still to balance the current meta with the upcoming meta that submarine will change. Yeah. So yes, we are working on it. If that's the question.
Yes. It's too early to talk about any balance aspects because, of course, adding a new class to the game has a huge impact on the balance of the game. So that's probably a stream in itself, or 2 or 3 or 5.
Oof, yes. By the way, can you guys win for once?
We're trying. It's not like we're not trying. We were the top XP guys in the last battle and in the one before, I think, as well.
It's nice to show that we are not total potatoes.
We're trying. I cannot promise that. It's work in progress, exactly. Soon TM, maybe.
Can you increase the priority for this feature?
I mean, I had a really nice salvo and I couldn't be smug about it because you guys were talking.
I saw the 3 citadels. I saw that. I was like, oof. Now you're going to be radar. There we go.
Okay, let me...
There's a question about, could we add some sort of preview feature to captain skills? So when you change or when you make...
Why is there a Conqueror?
When you make changes to ship stats, when you make changes to the skills, the ship stats change according to the skills. Is it possible to preview that?
I can get the question.
So if let's say we have a specific skill set for commanders, right? And I make I want to make some changes to the. Let's say I want to respec the commander. But before I respec and commit to respec, I want to preview the effect of those skill changes to the captain on the graphs of like how it affects my concealment or torpedo range or whatever that is.
I got it. Unfortunately, the answer is the same like for presets of ship for clan battles, starring battles, etc.
It's in a backlog, I believe.
Too heavy. It's far farther in the backlog because it's heavy, and usage of this feature is even less than for presets of ship.
Interesting. Yeah, I can sound like there's so many things to add and fix. So it is probably one of the things we would like to have, and it's not like we never thought about this, but it's just not super high in the list. I get it. Let's see. When will be normal players? What does it even mean? Normal players be able to test Graf Zeppelin? I know that means the non-owners, only owners and developers were able to play with Graf Zeppelin all this time. The question is, the answer is soon, I guess.
Yes.
After the CV rework is finished, we will see. She should come out. Or it's a she, or it's a he. Graf Zeppelin.
Well, Germans call the ships also as females, so...
Okay, so that's a very macho name, like Bismarck. Anyway, I'm not going to go to that rabbit hole.
Is radaring me. Why are you doing this to me?
I see Chrysanthos getting killed by radar.
Not killed.
Nerf,
not yet. Don't oversell it. I hope I can.
Well, only 5 ships looking at you. It's
okay.
It's manageable. Let me pick more questions. I think my backlog of questions is finished, so I need to skim through the Twitch chat. Okay, let's see. Oh, you see what I mean? I don't know.
Problem is the positioning of our team isn't really great here. Scalsum is asking, is a visual indicator coming for ships using hydro or radar?
Ah, yes, this is my favorite, actually. I want to see. So, Andre, what do you think about this feature? Where is it in your backlog? If I, as an ally, use a hydro radar, I should be able to see that my ally is using this feature that affects the current state of the battle. So if I press radar button, there is some sort of icon over my UI where it says like, okay, I'm using radar right now. So if I also have radar, I'm not using it at the same time.
Okay, we trying to put that quality of life features as soon as possible. It's not really often easy to implement them, but right now we have a very good possibility to use this. 1 second, I will battle with that Minotaur. But right now we are able to implement it with radar changes, at least one of them, because it will be easy to understand did your ally or Minotaur is done.
Is it well done?
Your processing power was taken by the Minotaur. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. It will be done at least for radar, because it will be easy to understand that you used radar right now. after radar changes, we made a lot of features with understanding of radar mechanics right now, and with visual effects here, because then you use radar, there will be very beautiful distortion wave from your ship, which is visible for you and for your allies, and they will understand it. After this, it's kind of color wave to understand it better, because only distortion wave is not good, is not mentionable, not mentionable, but you can't always understand that your ally use the radar. Right now, let me make pause 1 second. First of all, when you use radar, there is distortion wave. It's very beauty. After it, color wave. It's very understandable and beauty too. And after this, in the radar, in the model of your ship, above the radar, you will get the green rings.
Okay.
Which
Like
is,
the radar symbol. This.
yeah,
Yes.
but it's animated. It's kind of pulsing. I don't know. It's make boom boom boom, and it's very beautiful too. And it's totally understandable that your ally use radar in the radar changes feature. And we are looking forward to Hydroacoustic 2. I hope it will be done soon. And additional quality of life feature which we were able to implement here, and we're really happy that we were able to implement it. We made a how to say it. It's right now it's possible to understand on the 1 second. I can't understand it.
No problem.
We have a kind of marker of detection of your ship. Right now you can't understand the difference which was the reason of detection radar of hydroacoustic search, and we were able to make this understandable and different right now.
Okay.
So on you will understand what is the reason of your detection.
Cool, because I guess that's a news to me too. It's kind of a leak of a leak feature. Thanks, Andre. Because I knew there is something cooking, but I just didn't know, like, ooh, it's going to be like this. So to sum it up, it's in short, yes, this is something we have been working on, and in some form or another, you might see it.
Partially it's done, and it will be, hopefully it will be done soon. Totally done.
Yes, done.
For
Well
radar
done.
it's done, for in radar changes patch, and for hydroacoustic it will be done soon. Even in this patch, but it's not very likely.
Okay. Interesting. We almost leaked something, but we didn't. I'm proud of that. Oof. Let's take more questions. Oh, the classic. What about fixing the laggy UI? I guess that's work in progress too.
That's work in progress, and I really hope that result will be we will be able to show the results soon.
Soon. Okay. Well, I know.
Not
Yes,
in far
not very
future,
soon.
but
Yes.
Yeah. It's not. I hope it will be more soon than not very soon.
Okay, I think you should stop. You will give away too much information on this one, because I know it's coming sometime. Not too far, but soon. What?
Now I'm interested
No
what
way.
the question
Okay,
is. What is what?
no. No, I'm getting explanation on Andre's answer. Further explanation. Certain trial battles do we have? So people, there is a question from somebody who's saying that is it possible to get trial battles or against AI for the ship that people are planning to buy to check their performance?
Oh, Andre, tops.
I can see.
Okay. Just
Oh,
did not see
I can see
you
it.
charging
Yes.
in.
Yes, so the question is like, is it possible to get trial battles against AI for certain ships before people buy them? Like a rental.
Premium ships, yes.
It doesn't say, but I would believe so, yes. People, before they buy some premium ship, would like to try it. I think we have rental ships. Every now and then.
We have rental ships. Try to use these ships versus bots. I think that this idea is not 100% brilliantly good idea, because our player can get particularly wrong information, because bots are not 100% looks like people and behave like people, like live people. They make another mistakes, and they're different.
Yeah, you might get very wrong impression because bots are bots. Doesn't matter, or even like if it's in a special mode, I think it's kind of dangerous. It's like selling you something that we're selling you for a Formula 1 track, but actually you're gonna try it on a street and you're like, oh, this is interesting, and you take it on a Formula 1 track and it's crap. So maybe
because, for example, Atlanta is a very good example, because I'm totally sure that her performance versus bots will be excellent, perfect.
Yes.
But for not very good known with Atlanta player, she will be very hard to play efficiently on her versus really live people who can shoot in your satellites easily.
But I think we should maybe do something with rental ships, probably. I'll try to make a note somewhere.
Yeah, I think that the better idea is to allow to test it with real players. It's that you are talking about rental ships. It have another problems why we didn't implement it yet. Of course, because if there will not be problems, it will be run yesterday or before. And I think that if we will be able to solve all these problems, we will run this feature, because it's interesting and it's good move for our players, for our buyers.
Cool. I think we are out of questions.
Well, there's
No?
but there's an interesting question from Skalzam here in the Twitch chat, and he's asking, can the 20-second firing penalty become a balance factor?
Like going back to?
Basically adjusting the 20 seconds, I guess, to a different time for different ships. For example, let's say a DD would not receive the 20-second...
So believe me or not, we kind of... Internally, we debated it a lot, but I think it's already such a complex feature. It's a complex mechanism that a lot of players just don't understand. Trying to make it more complex won't help, but maybe yes. Andre, what do you think? Is it possible to experiment with the value, 20-second value of this firing penalty?
Visibility penalty, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. It's sounds interesting, and the main reason why we don't want to run this experiment is that even right now it's global constant for our game, and even in this very simple situation, not a lot of our players understand these mechanics and ready to use it in their as part of their skill set. Right, with constant number of these seconds, it's possible to make it. I don't know how to say it, like a habit, like
okay,
usual
like
thing.
permanent things where it becomes a habit.
Yeah, and it's can be part of your skill. If this timing will be different for different, I don't know, classes or ships or even tiers, it will be almost impossible to put this difference in your skill set.
Yeah, you need to remember a lot of things. Too many things.
Yeah, it's impossible to remember
But the question
this.
is, like, is it possible to lower this number globally or increase this number globally?
I guess just have the number as a balancing factor to say, I don't know, a ship might have something
just
better,
put your
but for
ship
that
in local weather.
Okay, but that would be very complicated to remember all these numbers for different ships.
yeah, for classes. Yeah, for classes would probably be the easiest way. Phew. Well,
Yeah,
I'm surprised we actually turned this game around. Wow, it didn't look that
I was
promising.
almost
at the
thinking you
beginning.
guys gonna lose again and we're gonna say bye, guys.
No. This is like the fist bump over the internet here. There we go. I think we carried these a little bit. It was fun to play on this flank. And oh, look at you! And this Montana definitely, like this division, helped a lot. Wow, 2,700. Yeah, they carried us. They carried us. Good job. Good job. That's why they get a compliment. And actually, that Des Moines was playing well as an enemy. Yes. There's one question now that I see the summary screen, and there was a question related to this just a few minutes ago. So I just wanted to read this one out, so that I'll just make that the last question.
Last question.
Yes. So Rico is asking, would it be possible to have new statistics in the summary menu? Elite command experience earned or received, for example. So basically updating not here. I mean, I would love to have it here, to be honest, as a player, if I could see how much.
Screen?
So he's talking about the summary in your profile. But also,
profile.
Yeah, I think he's talking about that summary. Let me go to my profile. I can show it on screen. So if you go to your summary. In a second, you see your stats, and basically what is missing here is, for example, things that we rolled in later in the game, like Elite Commander XP, because you don't really see this here. You see the XP you gained, but not, for example, the average Elite Commander XP or something. So basically, just adding more stats for people who love stats.
And just to put it out very honestly, Chris Santos likes sharing his profile screen.
I don't mind. I don't
Look
mind.
At that glorious stats. Beautiful. Anyway, so the question is, like, is it possible to add more statistics that have been added later in the game?
1 month ago, I would answer that it's good, but it's in backlog, etc., etc. But right now, I can use more better answer, because it's closer to us right now. It's already not in backlog. I'm not talking about exactly this list of statistics, but I really hope that soon we will introduce the reworked player statistics page on our portal. And the second thing I'm hoping right now, these statistics will be much better than any of list here, inclined, and portal right now, etc., etc. And it will appear on every place in the game. These work statistics will have much more information, more complex information for the players who really can understand this really deep mechanic explanation programs, and I hope that it's good answer on your question. I really can't say when it will be, but it's already not in backlog. It's more close.
It's a leak. Oh, a leak police is here. Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fun police. That's the fun police arriving.
Oh no.
Okay.
I think we need to.
I think this is the perfect time to actually wrap up the stream. So I will say Oh, actually, we should have pushed the button before. So
They could listen him, right?
yeah, they could. Yeah, absolutely.
So did you get a sanction from GPI team?
Oh, what?
Did you get some punishment from GPI team for leaking information?
Not yet.
Maybe tomorrow. Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
I will say thank you, Andre, for joining us on the stream and answering so many questions and in detail. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Yes, awesome, and let's do it more often. Let's do it with better setup.
Yes.
That's the number one
Yeah,
requirement.
we're sorry about
With
the
better
setup today.
technical preparation.
We
Yes,
I hope. Yes,
Yes.
it's a pleasure to talk with you. It's a pleasure to talk with all our players right here, answer your questions. I hope that the vast majority of answers were good for you.
Yes.
And I'm sad that part of questions are not make you happy. I hope this part is not big. Thanks all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Bye.
bye. And then I will move to this screen, and I will take off the headset.
Oh yeah.
So
can
we
I?
can. Yes,
Can
you
I?
can. Yes.
Ah.
Finally.
My brain
So
is free.
so first of all, guys, I just want to apologize for the technical issues we had, because this stream was not planned too long ago, because we had these upcoming changes to ships and their balance, and we thought it would be best to give you some additional context to these changes so you can understand why we're doing it.
And let's face it, we like giving good news.
Yes, come on. It's like you don't get too often to actually announce some buffs to ships where I know that, for example, changes to the hood or the key
Almost
or
a
the
dozen
Sims,
ships in one
Mahan
go.
and so on. People have been asking for this a very long time, and especially as a community manager, that's like, here, have a gift. Please take it. So I hope this part was fun for you. I apologize for some slight mistakes we had in there with the tiers. No worries, Mr. Kobe will suffer from this tomorrow.
Oh yes. We're gonna have a very serious conversation.
Yeah. No. So what's going to happen next? We are going to raid somebody, and I'll have to figure out who we're going to raid. But after that, we will be back next week with an English stream focused on the CV rework. So all of the questions you might have regarding commander skill resets, compensation, how does it work, what is the final change to the CV rework, all of these things come next week. Go ask them. We have already everything set up for that, so it should be an interesting stream, and probably takes a bit longer than the usual stream. Besides that, I think that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for you guys sitting in here asking your questions. I know that not all of the questions could be asked. It's not because we don't want to, but you see, it's like 2 hours and we had a bazillion questions, and we'll try to do this again with a better technical setup and to answer more of the questions. But I hope overall it's all good. If you just joined and you're like, what? There were changes, buffs? The place to go is to the dev blog. Our World Warships dev blog on Facebook. You can go there. You don't even have to log into Facebook to be able to access that and check out what we announced. It's basically changes to 12 ships in total.
Hang on, it's on Reddit too now.
And it's on Reddit too. Exactly.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks to our beautiful GPI team. So if you see
Always listening to you guys.
If you see Sep Octavian and Vessery, send them your love. They appreciate it. And so with that, I think we're going to I think Flambus was hosting us and probably broadcasting our stream. So is he? Oh, he's clan battling. Okay, so I think we're going to raid Hans, so that you can send some poisoned love.
What is that?
Because
Poison love.
Poise, yeah.
Poise.
Not poison.
Poison love.
Not
like,
poison love.
Oh my.
That would be interesting as well.
That's a very
No.
weird
Just
fetish.
poi, and hearts. Lots of hearts, and go cuddle Hans.
Yes,
and
please.
with that, well, we'll see you next week. Have a very, very beautiful rest of the week. Go farm those snowflakes. You have an additional week. Go grab all the coal, all the steel. Don't slack. Grab it. And yeah, with that, if you missed it, 0.8 is postponed by 1 week, so we can do some additional changes to the CV rework. Just for your information, all all of the missions, clan battles and so on have been prolonged by 1 week, except for the Nerves of Steel mission that is still ending next week. And with that, that's it.
That's it then.
Yeah.
Thank you. And see you next time.
Exactly.
Bye.
Bye-bye.